Hey guys, it's Miss Glossop. Another snow day here. I was surprised. I was thinking maybe we would get to head back to school, but not quite yet. The roads are still a little bit covered with snow. So one more day, hopefully, crossing my fingers, of working at home, and then hopefully we'll be back in the classroom. Yesterday, we learned 2 new vowel patterns. So let's go ahead and get started and practice those again today. Yesterday, we learned that AY says A as in the word hey. A. Let's say it one more time together. AY says A as in hey. A. Very nice. AI says A as in pale. A. AI says A as in pale. A. Okay, let's practice our short vowel sounds. A, I, Long vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U. Now we want to go over some sounds that we have learned previously during class, but it's always good to have our brains remember so that when we see those in words, they're fresh in our memory. So let's go through and I will say them with you once, and then I want you to pause the video and I want you to practice saying them at least twice on your own. Tur, swa, spa, spul, squa, e. Bossy E says A. Bossy E says I. Bossy E says O. E. And we also know that sometimes these two, EA, in a word can say eh. Der, sta, stir, thur, sure. Okay, now it's your turn. Pause the video and practice saying those on your own. All right, guys, now it's time to blend and read. A, may. J, A, J. P, A, pay. Pull, A, play. S, A, say. St, A, stay. Let me start that one over. Trail, trail. Train. Hair, hair. Chair, chair. Ale, male. Snails, snails. Chain, chain. Chin, chin. Ways, ways. Trace, trays. Airplane, airplane. Sunday, Sunday. Okay, let's continue blending and reading. Next, next. Lump. Which. Okay, with this bottom row, we're going to practice reading in our mind as I circle the word, and when I snap, you can say the word out loud to see if you're able to read it correctly on your own. Okay, go ahead. Read this word that I circled in your mind. Okay, say it. If you said leaps, you're correct. Okay, next word. Read it in your mind. Right. If you said catches, you are correct. Okay, last one today. Read it in your mind. If you said crayons, you are correct. Great job. All right, guys, now we have a few contractions to go over. Let's practice reading these together. Can't, didn't, hasn't, let's. Now let's read the sentence. Let's stay away from the wet paint. I want you guys to pause the video and I want you to practice reading the contractions and the sentence on your own until you're able to read it with good speed and expression. And then it will be time for you to start your blend and read words. That's when you're going to need your parent, sibling, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, whoever you live with to help you out. I want you to read to them all of the words by the heart, the circle, the rectangle, the square, and the triangle, and have them write down any words you struggle with. That way, when we get back to school, Miss Cope and I will already know where you guys are and what we need to work on to get back on track and get our learning re-going again. So go ahead and read those words. Pause the video now, read those words, and when you're ready to do our spelling part of the lesson, you can come back and click play and join me again. All right, guys, it's time for spelling. Just like we've done all week, we're going to use sound boxes to write the sounds that we hear in the separate boxes. Sometimes that will mean that there is more than one letter in a box. I know the other night I asked you to put the blends together inside of a box. Today, I want the students to go ahead and start hearing both sounds within that blend because the blends do make two separate sounds, even though we read it together smoothly. So I want them to make sure that their blends are separated for today's lesson, and what they will keep together in the same boxes are the digraphs and any vowel patterns such as EE or EA or AI. Those type of vowel patterns will stay in the same box because they make one sound. I hope that makes sense. Okay, the first word that we're going to write today is say. Let's say it together. Say. S-A. I heard two sounds. I'll do the first word with you. Two sounds. So let's go ahead and color in two dots here, and you at home can just draw two boxes, and let's write the first sound we hear. Say. I hear the S sound, and I know that sound is a letter S. So I'm going to put S here. Say. A. I hear the long A, and since it's at the end of the word, and I've seen this word before, I know that that's going to be an A-Y. S-A. Say. Very good. Okay, word number 2 is stays. 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 S-T-A-S. Okay, make sure at the beginning of stays, you're dividing your blend of sta into two boxes. St. Okay. All right. Stays is word number 2. Word number 3 is pain. Pain. P-A-N. I want to give you guys a hint in the word pain. That long A that you hear is A-I. Okay. Last word for today. It's tail. Tail. T-A-L. Tail. All right. Those are your spelling words for today. If you need to pause the video, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and move on to our sentence writing. The sentence today is, did you say we can paint? Let's count the words. Did you say we can paint? How many? All right, nice. Okay, go ahead and practice writing your sentence on your paper. Remember to use correct path of movement, the correct formation of letters that we've been practicing in class. Remember spaces between your words. Remember to capitalize the beginning and any other part such as names or places that needs capitalized. Remember to think, is this a telling sentence? Is this a question? What type of punctuation do I need at the end of this sentence? Okay, I'll say the sentence one more time. Did you say we can paint? All right. If you are still working on your sentence, pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our word building portion of the lesson. Hi guys! For this portion of the lesson, students are able to just watch and try to guess, or not guess, but try to solve the words that I'm writing, or they are more than welcome to pause the video and create little cards or pieces of paper that have each of these letters on them, and they can manipulate the different letters and sounds as we're building the words together. So you can choose how you want to do this part of the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the AIR copied down. Students, while you're watching me do this, see if you can solve AIR. What word would that be? If you said air, you are correct. Good job. Okay, we have the word air. I'm going to add an AF to the beginning of this word. What word is it now? Air. Fair. Good. Change the AI to ANEA. Okay, so change the AI to EA. Anybody know what word do we have now? If you said fear, you are correct. Good job. Okay, change the F to H. What word do we have now? Here. Here. Good job. Okay, change the EA to an AI. So EA, we're going to change to AI. Do you guys know what word it's going to be? Hair. Very good. If you said hair, you were right. Okay, now we're going to change the H. Change the H to a CH. Okay, so CH. Now let's see if we can solve the word. Chair. If you said the word was chair, you are correct. Okay, change the R to N. Okay, so we're going to take this R. We're going to change it to N. What's the new word? If you said chain, not change, chain, chain, you are correct. All right, last thing we're going to do is we're going to change this CH to a R. Rain. Very good. I hope you enjoyed building some words with me. Now it's time for your story. Today you're going to read the story Silly Pup. But today you're going to do a different activity with this story. Today's activity is a retell. So I want the students to read the story 3 times. The whole story 3 times. And then it's going to be time for them to fill out a story map. Now, I know most of you don't have these papers at home, so you can just label each part of the story on a blank sheet of paper. So in class, the first thing we always start with to help our minds get to remembering what we've read is who's in this story. Who are the characters? So you can just write out characters, and the student can list who the characters are. The next thing we try to think about is, well, we know who the characters are. Where were the characters? What is the setting of the story? And once we filled in characters and setting, we're ready to start remembering what happened in the story. Sometimes students can struggle with this, and a great way to remember is to ask themselves questions. Well, I know who the characters were, and I know where the setting was, so I need to think, well, where were they and what were they doing? It helps them think about using the things they know to think about what happened in the story. So students will need to write the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. And they know to use as many details from the story as they can remember. Now in class, when they're writing this, after they've read the story 3 times, we actually have them turn it over to see what they can remember on their own without looking back at the story. You might try that at home as well. And if they're struggling, it's okay to let them look back at the story for this time. I'll kind of show you an example of what we would like it to look like. Sorry, it has my drawings all over it. At the top, the box is for a picture. So if they have room on their paper, they're welcome to draw a picture. We just want to have full sentences, nice pictures, and detailed answers of what happened in the story. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today for our reading lesson. I hope to see you the next day at school. Bye, guys.